let me see if I can grab it real quick. Should have had my little, I bought me a little light. Still trying to get a little better at this. Okay, let me see. Um, see, I bought a little light. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay. Well, this is a more or less a casual conversation. Where's my camera? Oh, my camera's right. It's just a little casual conversation. So, as there's been some talk in the last couple years, and in general, it's been a general fear that you know um, pedophilia may become something that is legal or commonplace in the states. And for the life of me, I was like, this just won't happen. Now it may drop the legal age to 16, like they do in like what Nevada or something like that. But I was just like, nah, they just won't do it. And you hear about NAMBLA and these other groups that are pushing to have this, and I'm like, some people are saying like, well, it's going to come behind that's why they're pushing the LGBT rights and all this other stuff, and they're going to come in through that way, and I'm just like, you know, nah, movement. I'm just like, nah, they can't because, I want to say have, but there is a very alarming number, or you say a correlation between pedophilia, uh, abuse and incest and things like that with a lot of these people who identify as LGBTQ. Um, I know tons of people personally or loosely that identify somewhere in that spectrum where they've had some type of degree, some type of inappropriate encounter with an adult or older person, an older kid or whatever, um, at a very young age. Okay, to some degree. So I'm like, there can't be no way. I just there's no come on. I just know this is just not going to be possible. But I was listening to another YouTuber who happens to be identifying that spectrum, and it's somebody that I listen to. You know, I like that particular person's content, and they was commenting on some current events dealing with some other people that are having some things come up in their life about pedophilia and liking young young people, or so I'm like, okay, so I'm listening, and this person said something to the effect, and I actually should have just went back and watched the video so I could quote. Maybe it's good that I don't quote it directly, because then it might allude to who it is. But they basically stated that what people do in their homes is their business, and that what other people do is their business, and equated that to also you know pedophilia, and I'm assuming that this person didn't mean like children, but it's just the way it was worded. Just made it seem like they're like, okay, well, you know what, I being that I uh, identify under the LGBTQ spectrum, and we say, hey, what, it's none of your business what people do behind closed doors, that I too then have may like a little young tenderonis and the same way. And I was like, oh my goodness, it hit me like, and then maybe I'll go back and Maybe I will just go back and like watch the video over and find that part and then just type it in as a comment verbatim what was stated. I was like, oh man, so that's how it's gonna, you know, that's how they're going to get a lot of people to kind of go along with it. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I ain't too personal, I'm not too fond of this, this behavior of yours. However, I can't really sit up and dictate what people do in it behind closed doors type of thing. And that's how that's going to get ushered in, and that's how they're going to get a lot of the LGBTQ people on board because they're going to use that same, stance as they have, LGBTQ have, in order to be, seem human and, and have their rights to exist and be in public and, not have people shame, humiliate, or, bother them or try to hurt them, and et cetera, right? And, all these laws when it comes to, business and workplace and, discrimination and all that stuff. So that's how that's going to pop off. And and that's how it's going to happen. And I'm not saying it's going to happen soon, but it's going to be broken into. It's going to be broken down, and at the end of the day, a lot of you know people in the government, Hollywood, entertainment industry, they a lot of them are pedophiles. They're into sex magic, pedophilia, human trafficking, and even drugs and drug trafficking, sex trafficking, all that. Even okay, they the biggest drug dealers. Okay, and they participate in that human trafficking. Be fooled because there's no way for them to have all these safe houses in this country and it be such a at that magnitude of network where they're affiliated with countries and other nations and stuff to not come on, man. Anyway, so that was my something I wanted to post because it was just like I had an epiphany. I was like, oh my god, and I heard, I was like, oh, that is just how it's going to happen because they're going to come in behind that and with that kind of mindset and to get people going to be the same way we were with the LGBTQ and how they were saying like, hey, mind your business, what somebody doing in the bedroom, if it ain't hurting you, it's none of your business. But and for this person, I was shocked to even hear this person say that. But I'm just like, but you don't even have no kids. I'm pretty sure that would change once you have kids and you have little kids. You don't want that type of stuff to be happening to them. You don't want to even have it even be a high chance, a probability for that happening. You don't even want to create conditions or laws or to even have that happen. I'm like, what, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I just, I can't believe it, but then I can't believe it because, it's a lot of dysfunction, a lot of things going on. But anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to document. I was like, man, that's how I'm gonna bring it in. Watch, 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 and you know, people who will have this stance or this mindset of, hey, I don't like it, it makes me uncomfortable, but I can't, you know, do you? I can't talk about what you do in your bedroom, what your desires are, I employ those particular people to really. I've spoken to pedophiles, not just pedophiles that like 16-year-olds, pedophiles that like little children. And I implore these people who want to take this stance of, hey, I can't, what somebody else do in their bedroom, and I want, I say, talk to a pedophile, or dig up. There's a lot of information. There's case studies and stuff where people have documented conversations with pedophiles. But I've actually talked to pedophiles. I've talked to a couple that was into 14, 15, 16 year olds, and I've talked to one that on the phone that liked little kids. So before you solidify your mindset into that concept or that mindset of, hey, it's none of my business, I say you into, there's no, it's no, that just can happen. So I hope it doesn't, but I feel like that's how it's going to get legalized. It's because of LGBTQ and that whole, mind your business. It has nothing to do with you, and what I do in my bedroom type of, ideology, or mindset that's coming out of the LGBTQ. But like I said, I was floored when I heard this particular YouTuber say this very nonchalantly. So I'm just like, did he just really say that? And it kind of like, it just turned the whole thing. I just couldn't even watch anymore. And it was somebody I watched. And so I was just like kind of disappointed. Like, this is the mindset of a lot of people in that community. It has to be. Or at least it will be for this to come about. And I'm not saying that all people that are identifying that spectrum, there's some people who don't condone pedophilia in no way, shape, or form. I mean, to the death in that community. So I want to, don't comment like, oh, you just I say all gay people to. No, I'm just saying that because all it takes is a little, a few people. I mean, hell, the civil rights movement. If you really research, it wasn't a lot of us who was with it. Only takes a few group key people, and to push a narrative, and then with media and imagery and uh, loops of information, feedback loops, and conditioning. Who knows? But I just feel like that's how it's gonna pop off. I think that's how they're going to do it. They're going to go through the LGBTQ, and they're going to go through that that avenue. They're going to use that their talking points and what their mission, and what they're going to use that. That's how it's going to happen. So anyway, that's it. I think I might make another one. I'm gonna have to go up here and use the bathroom, but I wanted to talk about the blackout so in Venezuela. So I'll be getting jumping back on in a few minutes, but I have